What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about scarcity thinking. I'm just wrapping up cleaning at one of my work sites, and it's Friday, so happy Friday to you guys if you're watching this. I threw away that other microphone that I've tested a couple times, that lapel mic. I think it was better quality yesterday just because I moved it lower so it wasn't distorting as I was talking, but I think maybe the cable was just bad, so we were getting some weird sounds in there. So that is now in the trash. But yeah, I've been rereading 10X by Grant Cardone, and yeah, it's just like his big thing is like take massive action, set goals that are 10 times what you would usually set them at, and also take 10 times as much action as you would as well. So I was listening to some Social Club Misfits today as I was cleaning and just really enjoying it, and it just took me to a place. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when I was in high school, I was in a little rock and roll band, and my desire was to be a rock star, and it was just tons of fun to dream about that. And obviously I'm not doing that right now, and I don't think I actually would have enjoyed that, but it is just funny as I listen to these guys. It's just like, man, I want to make music. But making music takes real work, and I think a lot of times we see people's lives, we see the success that they have, and we're like, man, we want that, but we don't want the work involved, and we only see people's highlights. We don't see the hustle. So that's interesting to think about. But yeah, in Grant Cardone's book today, he was just talking about, I don't think he used the word scarcity, but yeah, just listening to it made me think about things. Yesterday, I was thinking about a question that I want to start asking in my interviews. And so comment and answer this question if you're watching. But my question is, what excuse have you had to get over? What excuse have you had to get over in your life? And how did you overcome that excuse? What was the process of that? What did that look like for you to get to where you are today? I think that's a good question. I think that's a really good question. So there's that. But yeah, where do we think that we have lack in our lives? Where do we think that there's something that has limit, that we're almost using that thing as an excuse? And so today I really got convicted as I was listening to that book. It's like, man, I keep saying that I have a limited amount of emotional energy, which I think maybe is true, but it's also just an excuse. It's like I'm trying to live in this like guarded place of guarding my mood. It's just like, only if the circumstances are perfect am I going to be able to, whatever, be nice to people or something like that. And it's just like, we need to prepare our lives above and beyond the average day so that we can slay average days, but that we can also really rise to the occasion of hard days or the outlier day that's super difficult. Like if you accidentally sleep through your alarm or something and are suddenly rushed, can you handle that? And can you do that? So yeah, I woke up this morning super grumpy. Probably, it's all subconscious. Grumpy, but probably I think I subconsciously thought that I deserved more sleep or something like that. Thought that I needed for my emotional energy some more alone time. I mean, those are things that I would love, but I didn't get those things, and so I was grumpy. And it's just like, man, I really want to work on my attitude and make sure that I can snap out of those things in that kind of like selfish, entitled thinking that just puts you in a bad mood, Just being honest here. I don't know if anybody else can relate to this or be honest about it, but I'm identifying that in my life, and I really want to smash those thinking. I want to be able to show up in any circumstance and be a little more adaptable. And obviously, I mean, yesterday's video was all about slaying some recurring stressors, right? We should absolutely be able to address that. Today, I addressed another thing that's frustrating, which is we are down to one sippy cup for some reason, and we keep losing it. We had two. We've lost one completely, and now we're down to one. My son just takes it and like puts it places where it's not supposed to be. I mean, he doesn't know that where it's supposed to be. So, and then we lose it, and then when it's time to give him water with a meal, you're hunting around the house. So I ordered 2 more sippy cups just to reduce some of that chaos. But yeah, I just want to be able to operate in unideal circumstances, because I think unideal circumstances are probably, I don't know, if you're they're just a reality. You're not going to always have ideal circumstances, and I want to fight to create better circumstances so that things can operate more smoothly. But also, there's just the reality that life happens, and there won't always be ideal situations, ideal circumstances. So how do I make sure that my character and my ability and my emotional energy is in a place where it can readily respond in a correct manner, and I can have a good attitude? I think attitude is so huge, and it's something that I want to really master. Life is not ideal, and so having a bad attitude about things makes you suffer twice. And I think a lot of times bad attitude is created from entitlement. We think other people should be doing other things, or what we think they should be doing, and we don't have control over anyone but ourselves. And so we and then we show up to things with a bad attitude, and then we don't get fully out of it what we want, and it's not a good experience because we came into it with a bad attitude, and then our day's bad, and then our week's bad, and then our month's bad, and then our year's bad, because we don't have self-control or mastery over our attitude. And so I really want to grow in this. This is something that I'm growing in. I cannot say that I've mastered this at all. I a lot of times have a bad attitude about things, and yeah, I really want to grow in that. There's so many things to be thankful for, and just focusing on that thing. I wonder if there will always be negative things going on in life, like not ideal things that are happening in life as well, and that's maybe just reality. And so, but there's always really good things going on too, and there's always things we can be thankful for. I'm going to butcher this quote, but I read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl this year, and he just talked about between stimulus and response, there's always your choice. And so that was a super good book. I read that because Donald Miller got interviewed, I think, on the Typology podcast, and said that book changed his life, and he's never really had a bad day since then. I was hoping that I would have the same results, but it is really good, and it's good to just realize that there's literally people suffering, physical suffering at the hands of other humans, and so that can help put perspective into our bad day and the bad attitudes we choose when someone did not do what we expected them to do, but we never communicated them to do, and we're offended and then have a bad attitude. So yeah, these are things that I need to grow on. But yeah, where do we have scarcity thinking, and what's the excuse we're making because of a seeming lack? So my thing is, again, emotional energy. I keep saying, well, I have a limited amount of emotional energy, and I'm just like, maybe that's just an excuse, and I have the choice to show up and do the right thing, even if I don't feel good or feel optimal. So that's what I'm thinking about. That's a new thought. So that's pretty fresh for me right there. I want to be able to operate in unideal circumstances. When I'm not feeling it, I still need to have no excuse to do the wrong thing. Something that I really love that Dan Mohler said, I've been listening to some of his sermons recently, is do not let sin against you create sin in you. Do not let sin against you create sin in you. So yeah, where are we making excuses? Where do we think that we have lack? And that lack, therefore, somehow justifies us to take an excuse to do something less than the best choice, or less than the best that God has for us, or less than God's standard for us to continue to be love in the world. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Comment and let me know what you're thinking about these things. Where are you making excuses in your life? And then comment and let me know what's the biggest excuse that you've had to overcome in your life so that you can be where you are today. Yeah. All right, guys. Happy Friday. Thanks for watching, and have a good one. All right.